Oh, I like it. You're gonna have a great time. During the show, we're gonna take you on a physical encounter with all the laws of our universe and show you how footballers use those laws to improve their performance and score some awesome goals and do some awesome moves. During the show, you're going to realize that science is everywhere around you, and it's in everything you do. And a better understanding of the scientific principles behind what you do can help you make better, smarter, and healthier decisions. It can improve your performance in everything. School, business, football, whatever it is you desire to be, science can help you get there. Now, many years ago, I was sitting in the audience just like you guys, and I wanted to become a professional footballer. I was also really curious about how the world worked, and I realized the more I knew about how the world worked, the better I was able to perform in it. I was lucky to play professional football. I represented Ireland, I played in the Europa League, and I did all this while studying for a degree in theoretical physics. Science has helped me achieve my dreams. It can help you too. Now, before we begin, I'd like to talk to you about a wonderful place called Explorium. Has anyone been to Explorium before? Whoa, no way! What is it like? Did you have fun? See, did you guys have fun?
Yeah, mate.
These guys seem to have more fun than you guys. Let me see. Did you guys have fun? Yeah! Did you guys have fun?
They have fun. That's not fair.
Explorium is an awesome place.
That's not
It's a
fair.
sports and science centre with hundreds of interactive exhibits that teach you all about the world around you and the limitless potential within you. Now, the Explorium stand is there. Make sure you go and check out some of our cool interactive activities. Now, physics is the study of the world around us. From very, very big things like stars, planets, and galaxies, to very, very small things like atoms, and the interactions between them through forces and motions. People who study physics are called physicists, and I am a physicist. And I'd like to introduce to you another physical object that uses science to improve his game. Guys, make some noise for Ireland's #1 freestyler, Dara! Show him some love, come on! Alright. Me and Dara use science to help improve our game. Now, what we're going to do throughout the show is show you how the scientists use science to improve their performances. Dara is the best freestyler in Ireland and has travelled the globe working with companies and brands across the world, doing his awesome skills. And science helps both of us improve our game. Okay, guys, this show is going to have lots of energy. I need your help with something. Because football is played with the body, but won with the mind. So, energy can come from us, but it must also come from you guys. Now, energy is the ability to do work. Energy is very important in football. Players move, the ball moves. Energy is very important. So, to start off every freestyle, I need your help. Every time I say, train your brain, you guys have to say at the top of your voices, to win the game. Dara, I think we gotta test that. You think they can do it? Let's give it a little test. Everybody clear your throats. Get ready, come on. Do whatever you
Where's the coffee at? Let me hear Dara.
do what you gotta do to get a perfect voice, alright? Alright, everyone get ready. It's time to train your brain.
I should scream.
It wasn't bad, Dara, but you think they can do better? You're gonna get. I think you can do better. Okay, let's try it once more. Okay, ready? It's time to train your brain to. That can be translated to win the game. All I heard was. Ah! Okay, we're ready to do it. I'm going to introduce to you the first forces that are used in football. They are called Newton's laws of motion. Newton may have been born about 300 years ago, but I think he would have been a Man United fan. He was a very intelligent fellow. So I'm pretty sure he would pick the best team in the world to support. I love it, yes. And that's amazing. Who's going? Who do you support? Who do you support? Who do you support? Liverpool! Get out of here! Can we remove the Liverpool supporter? Get him out of here. No Liverpool support. That was the rule. No Liverpool supporters were meant to be allowed in. Football is all about emotion and motion. The player moves, the ball moves, and Isaac Newton's laws describe how things move. So, let's see some of Newton's laws in motion, because it's time to train your brain. Alright, Dara, show us some Newton's laws in action. Alright.
He dropped it.
Is just a cosmology of action and reaction forces. Newton's laws of motion describe how things move. So let's investigate those 3 laws of motion. Now, Newton's first law of motion says that if something is not moving, then it will not move unless you give it a force. So, Dara, I think, can you help me describe and demonstrate Newton's first law of motion? So, it says that if something is at rest, it will remain at rest unless a force acts on it. Okay? Get ready for Newton's law of motion, everyone. Newton's first law of motion.
Boot him, kill him.
Guys, check out Newton's first law of motion! Check that out! Look at that, it's amazing! If you don't give something a force, it will not do anything! Thank you. It took a lot of practice to be able to do that. That is Newton's first law of motion. Newton's second law of motion says if you want to get something moving, you have to give it a force. So Dara, I want you to give that ball a force, and you will see that the ball will start to accelerate. Dara continues to give it a force, and that causes it to move around. This is Newton's second law of motion. Make some noise for Newton's second law of motion, everyone. Now, you all might know Newton's third law of motion. It says that for every action, there is an equal and opposite. Thank you for your reaction. Now that means that every time you kick the ball exerts an equal and opposite force back on your foot. When the ball is bouncing, it gives the ground a force, and the ground gives it an equal and opposite upwards force, causing it to bounce upwards. A football match is just a simple combination of all these three laws of motion. So, now that we know how to get a ball moving, let's try and see what happens when the ball is flying through the air. Now, gravity is the force that makes things drop. It pulls things down. You cannot hide from gravity. It glues us to the earth. So, I think it's time to see some gravity in action. If you're all ready, it's time to train your brain to Dara, show us some gravity in action. First, always coming down on the football. Inescapable. It glues us to the earth and always pulls down on us. You cannot get away from gravity. Even getting out of bed in the morning, you must push upwards against gravity. Walking is nothing more than a series of falls due to gravity. Jumping can give you a very short-lived escape from the planet, but gravity always pulls you right back down again. Now, the forces of gravity act on the human body. They also act upon a football. Footballers know how much force to kick a ball to overcome gravity. And they always know that gravity will pull the ball back down again. When they're jumping up for corners, they know how much force to apply to the ground to stay up in the air and to overcome gravity. And no one is ever afraid that gravity won't be there to pull them back down again. So, gravity forces are always attractive. They pull things together. So I think we should pull a few volunteers up on stage to check out the laws of gravity. Okay, Dara, let's go. You can get someone from this side. I'm going to get someone from this side. And let's see who we got. Okay. Oh, you get a guy, Dara. And let me see, who have we got? What is your name? Katie. Guys, give Katie a round of applause. Katie, come join us. All right, Katie, if you'd like to come up this way.
I got Vincent.
Super. You can head up. And what's your name? Cormac. Guys, give Cormac and Katie a round of applause. Excellent. Okay, Katie, you can stand right here. Cormac, you can stand right there. Now, Dara is going to help you perform some freestyle skills that will overcome the force of gravity. So you guys can check out what Dara's doing. He's not just acting like a chicken for the crack. You guys are going to try this. You're going to try the neck trap. This is going to help you learn some freestyle moves, something you couldn't do before you came here today. You're going to try and overcome the force of gravity and see if you can get the ball balancing on your neck. It's tricky. Dara practiced this a long time. You almost got it. There we go, we have it almost here. And you hunch your back, just like that. He's wearing a big, huge hoodie. You put the hood over the ball. Check! Guys, give him a round of applause! We have two football freestylers on our hands, overcoming the forces of gravity. They're going to stay here for the rest of the show. You guys are fine with that. We're going to continue. The show will be about another 20 minutes, okay? We'll be back very soon. Okay, so... Guys, give Cormac and Katie a huge round of applause. You guys can take a bow.
What?
and you can
My
make
six
your way
pass.
to safety. Football freestylers in the making. Now, when the ball flies through the air, that's when some really cool stuff happens. The study of how things flow through the air is called aerodynamics. And I think it's about time we had a little challenge. Is there anybody out there who thinks they can beat me and Darren? Alright, don't be short of confidence or anything. Good lord, okay. Alright, Darren, I'm gonna see, let me see. Okay, let me see. Are you that Liverpool fan? Alright, here, right. What's your name? Mosen. Guys, give Mosen a round of applause. Mosen, join us on stage. Mosen, you can come and with me here. Alright. Now, Mosen, you support Liverpool. What's up with that? Anyway, Mosen, we're going to have a competition. We're going to see who can keep the ball up the longest in a game called Keep Yuppies. We're going to see who can keep the ball in the air the longest. Confident? Oh, it's pretty confident. All right. Okay. I'd like you to all give Mosen some support when he's about to do it. Okay. So Mosen, let's go. Let's see how long you can do it. All right. To do this forever. Well, okay. I probably picked the wrong guy. Everybody get comfortable. Looks like Mosen is going to be here for a while. Okay, that was pretty good. You can leave that there, Mosen. You can come over here. Guys, that was unbelievable. Give Mosen a round of applause. But now it's my turn, Mosen. And Mosen, I'd like you to stand just about here. Right? And yeah, just like this so they can all see your embarrassed face. Right? Okay. Now, Mosen, like I said, scientists and footballers use science to help improve their performance. So I'm going to use a bit of science to help improve my performance. It's not cheating. You're a cheater. Mosen, I never said that you couldn't use the leaf blower. It was there the whole time. I'm just using science. Okay. Now, let me see. I just bought this morning, so can you guys see where the button on this, how do you turn this thing? Wait a second. Can you see, where's the button to the, I got it. I found it, and the button was here. Mosen, I found the button, it was here. Oh, sorry, I found the button. Okay. I will be using science to help me keep the ball in the air. Mosen, I'd like you to stand right there, okay? Let's see what the power of air can do. Alright. Give me some support as well, alright?
It's half.
Alright, let's apply some science and see how this works. Okay.
Ours is at 11.
Mosen, I want you to stand over there. Actually, Dara, could you stand with Mosen and protect him? Wink, wink. Alright, check it out. Alright. Look. I think I'm beating Mosen, don't you think? I think we have a very clear winner.
He's not. It's picking up. He's not.
It's very clear who's winning this competition. Pretty simple when you use science to help improve your game. I'm definitely the winner of that. Give me, come on, I'm clearly the winner.
It's kicking up these.
I know, okay.
He didn't win.
Make some noise if you think I won the competition. Thank you.
It's Kiki Uppies.
Make some noise if you think Mosen won the competition.
Yeah!
I clearly won. Ah, fine. Mosen, congratulations. Guys, give Mosen a round of applause. Whatever. You can
Nah,
make it
just don't look so
Guys, give Mosen one last big cheer. Okay. Now, the reason that ball stayed in the air is because of what's called the Bernoulli principle. And this was explained by Swiss mathematician Daniel Bernoulli. He discovered that faster moving air has got lower pressure. And it also helps explain how airplanes and birds fly. I'd like you to give a round of applause for my second performer, Floppy the Pigeon, everyone. Thanks for turning up right on cue, Floppy. You wouldn't believe how much you gotta pay pigeons to perform these days. Daniel Bernoulli found out that faster moving air has got lower pressure. So the fast moving air from the leaf blower has got lower pressure. The air around the room has got higher pressure. So the ball floats in that low pressure column. Now, you might realize that footballs are not completely round. They've got stitches and panels in them. And that actually helps them fly better through the air. If you look at a golf balls are not smooth. They have lots of little dimples on them. And that's to make it rougher, so it flies through the air better. Because when something rough flies through the air, some of the air actually sticks to the ball and flows around the ball. So we're going to show you with a few demonstrations that the ball and the air don't just bounce off each other, that the air flows around the ball. Dara, let's show them how the ball improves the flight of objects. We are going to use my favorite trusty piece of equipment again, the leaf blower. We are going to set up 3 targets, and there's a big football in the way. Which cup do you think is going to blow out of the way when I shoot from here? Who thinks this cup is going to blow? Who thinks this cup is going to blow? Who thinks this cup is going to blow? Even though there's a giant football in the way, the air is not going to bounce off the football. It's hopefully going to push only the middle cup away. Just like our picture, the air flows around the ball, some of it sticking to it. Now, Dara, let's ramp this up a notch. Let's check out my next piece of science equipment. This is my air cannon. For those of you who don't know, I frightened the life out of this guy. This shoots air. Oh, she has look at her lovely hair that she spent ages on getting ruined. Let's just do this for the remainder of the show. You see how strong it is? Let's see how far back we can get this. Let's see how it is. Yeah, I know, it's pretty far. So, let's get a football. Or let's try. No, you're right. Let's use that. Now, Dara, this is not a football. And let's see why a round football acts different. So, Dara, I'd like you to block the candle. And I'm going to try and knock it out. Okay, ready? Oh, it did. Dara, please light the candle again and pretend nothing happened. The air bounces off the rectangular panel. Nobody's seen anything. Let's just pretend it did. Let's try block it once more. Maybe go a little bit closer to the candle. It is very windy in here with Flappy the Pigeon around. Okay. Are we good? All right. It blows it, but it won't knock it out. If we replace the screen with a football, what do you think will happen? Hopefully the air will stick to the ball, move around it, and it should still knock the candle out. Let's see if the physics is with us. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Check that out! Give some noise for the laws of physics, everyone! Like we said, the air sticks to the ball,
What?
moves
Oh my God,
around it,
sure.
and that causes some pretty cool things to happen in football.
Here on.
When footballs are spinning, we've noticed that they act a little different. When you kick a ball with spin, it causes it to curl through the air. And that's because the air pulls to one side, pushing the ball in the other direction. So let's see what the Magnus effect can
Do you
do.
think I could?
On the left, you can see me just after kicking a ball. The ball is up at the top left corner. Where do we think that ball is going? Do we think it's going to go into goal A or goal B? And look where the ball is. It's up there. How could a ball that's all the way up there go into the goals at B? Look where it is. But I kicked this ball with spin. So let's try and see actually what happens to the ball. That is the Magnus effect. A spinning ball curls through the air. And lots of free kick takers use this to curl the ball around defenders and around players to score some awesome goals. Now, this will explain what's going on. Let's that volume up.
When you see a ball bending or curling, what you are witnessing is called the Magnus effect. This affects any spinning ball through the air. To curl the ball, you have to kick it on one of its sides. When the ball is spinning, this is where the magic happens. Because the ball is spinning, it speeds up airflow on one side of the ball and slows it down on the other. This deflects air to the side you kick the ball, and from Newton's third law, this must produce an equal and opposite force the other way. As the air moves in one direction, the ball moves in the other direction.
Here, Alex.
Cruz will go for it! And score!
They're not breaking laws, they're actually
Alex,
using
do you think I
them.
might run over
Will
that?
this knowledge help you become the next
What?
Ronaldo?
Do you think I get away with a run over?
But now you know the science, the rest is up to you.
What's the big idea?
So, we've seen that kicking a ball with spin causes it to curl. You'll see that the ball is spinning, so it throws the air in one direction. And if we remember from Newton's third law, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if the ball throws the air in one direction, the air pushes the ball in the other direction, causing it to curl. And this is how free kick takers score some awesome goals. So we've found out that kicking a ball with spin allows it to curl. But what would happen if you kicked a ball without it spinning? But before we do, let's do a spinning experiment of our own. That means I need €4. €4. Who's got €4? Here's some cash. Among the rest, Dara, let's get some 4 volunteers, and we will only pick volunteers who are sitting down nicely with their hands in the air. Okay, so Dara, you go this side, I'll go this side. You get 2, I'll get 2. Okay, what's your name? Alyssa, you can head up on stage. You just head around to Dara, and you go there. Okay, and let's get someone from back here. Okay. Ooh, fingers on your lips. Well, let's get someone from here as well. Oh, look, fingers on the lips. What's your name? Jack. Jack, you can join us on stage as well. Guys, make some noise for all of our 4 volunteers.
Oh, Jack
Show
Casey.
them some love.
Jack Cole.
We are about to do a spinning
It's Jack Cole
experiment.
is
Okay.
finding someone from our class in school.
Dara will tell you all what to do. We are going to see the effects of a spinning football. This is high class. This is really cool. You're all about to become top freestylers right here. Let's see if we can do it. All right. You're all ready and in position. Let's see how we can do it. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Get it out. Guys, show them some love. Give them some support. Get this out.
Jack, oh, Jack.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
Jack is the best. Yeah, Jack is the best.
Are these the Harlem Globetrotters or not? Guys, give them a huge round of applause. I couldn't even do something like that. we can see the power of a spinning football. Guys, you guys can all take a huge bow. You've been fantastic, been able to spin the ball on your hands. Guys, give them a huge round of applause. Now, that was unreal. If you could ever spin it next, you should try to spin it on your finger. That's next level. So we found out what can happen when you kick a ball with spin. But what would happen if you kicked it with no spin? Let's have a look.
Allora, il portoghese